you want to get straight into it, or you want to just have a quick chat? Just because I want to get to know about you as well, bro.
Yeah, no,
yeah, I want to know what you're doing, bro. Like,
yeah.
I see you working, man. Like, BloodJuice has been. I wasn't truly sure what it was about because you got all these pages on social media, and it's a lot of like they're pushing a lot of the negative stuff as well.
Yeah.
But what do you focus on? Like, pretty much, it's like, what's your purpose in your?
The main goal for me is, you know how you watch Adam 22 and he'll interview the people before they're famous.
Yeah.
And then they pop up, and then you're like, oh, he interviewed him like way back. That's like the biggest goal for me is like to get underground.
So just to like capture like talent before it blows up. Eh?
Exactly.
That's cool.
The only interviews as of late that have been putting me on are mainly just because like I listen to them, but also to gain that platform to then go back to the streets and
and you build that relationship because even with this, I see you doing this interview and towards the end coming again. Hey, where you guys up to? What's going on? And then once the movie's out, boom, get the cast on here, bro. You know what I mean? Because we've got a lot of heavy hitters in terms of like the Sydney culture in this movie.
Yeah, it's so exciting, like that, like the whole like all these people coming together and just how you sign them all and then put them in the one.
Yeah, straight out.
Yeah. Were you always in business?
Pretty much my whole life, bro. Like as soon as I left school, I got into business straight away. Even in school, I was into business. Like, not drugs, but like I was always like involved in. If someone wanted to buy something, like I'd always try to find who'd have it and buy it off them and sell it at a fraction. You know?
Me too.
Yeah, you know, I was always into that, making money.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, making money is business. You know, the most important skill in making money is understanding business. So, yeah, I've always been into business.
Did you have the need to? Like, was it poor growing up?
Yeah, it was, man. So growing up, we were very poor growing up. So that was a big. I don't even know if that was the motivation because we always had what we wanted. We were always happy. Like I always had bread, we always had chicken. So I think for me, I always wanted to do what others doubted, this sort of thing. You know, I wanted to do more. I'm very competitive. Like if someone was making $100 a week, I wanted to make $200 a week. If someone was shooting a music video, I want to shoot 2 this month. Like that's and even till now, like me doing this movie, I'm competitive, bro. I want to make sure that we're the first to do it. You know, and I'm someone that sees ahead of time. So it's like, what's next in the Australian scene? Everyone's focused on the music scene. Yeah, fucking know if it's popping off. There's a lot of great talent, but then it's like, what's next? Movies is definitely next, and I'm just jumping on it now.
I love that.
Yeah, you always got to think what's next. People, I can enjoy them now, but it's probably another curse for me because I'm always thinking about what's next. I'm moving so quick and it's hard to keep the team up to date too sometimes. But George has been with me for how long now? A week? And it's pretty crazy if you think about it. How'd you go with that Sam guy?
The what?
Sam.
Who's Sam?
Oh, the mechanic?
See, she can't give up.
Oh, okay.
I'm going yet. Yeah, what's your bad?
I love that. It's and even I know it's like that with me as well. And you try to, like you try to play basketball with your mates, and I don't even like it because you just get too competitive.
I destroy it, bro.
Yeah.
If I'm not destroying, I can't do it, bro.
Yeah.
My little cousin, my little sisters growing up, unfortunately for them, I never. You know, you let them win, like it's loose. Nah, bro, I'm fucking winning, you know. It's just my nature, it's in my blood, my DNA.
Like your 2-year-old daughter.
You have to.
Yeah.
If you're not doing this to win, what are you doing this for? Like you have to be doing this to win, and to be the best. Even if you don't become the best, at least you're doing your best. So you're still pushing your limits, you know. For me, that's more important than anything. Like when I wake up every morning, I'm thinking, how can I do better than yesterday, or how can I, you know, improve in the music game or now the movie industry. It's all about just being the best at what you do. And
that would have been a huge goal within, because once you're signing everyone in music, it's like, alright, I want to do movies now because it's like such a new challenge. It's right, yeah.
It's a challenge, but that's also part of my strategic marketing plan because it's helping them. Like their music, all my artists, they're all gonna have soundtracks in this movie. So it's only going to help their music career. So it works hand in hand. It's not like I'm trying to, you know, do something completely random. Like get into construction for my art. Nah, bro. I'm pushing music, movies, and they really help each other out.
I love that.
Yeah.
Why Biordi?
Biordi's my last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never knew.
It's funny, when I came up with the name Biordi, a lot of people were trying to advise me against using my last name. especially my accountant and my solicitor. And I think it's, you know, they were just like, look, if something goes wrong, you know, your name's out there, man. Like, you should use something else. So worst case scenario, you can change it. And you know what, that made me. It's funny because when I heard those exact words, it made me want to use my name even more because I don't want shit to go wrong. Like, me putting my name up is me putting my balls on the line, saying that, you know what, this is who's doing what, this is what we're about, and we want to do things the right way. You know, we want to do things the right way. We want to maximize things. So, Beauty, that's where it came from.
I love that.
Me. Lowkee. Like, you know, you have those boys that like, yeah, I rated her, I cooked up with her. I was the
Just
one.
to yourself.
I was the one that never kissed and told.
Yeah.
I was like
Respectful,
always
bro.
private,
That's what's
respectful. But you know what? If you want to be a serious player in the entertainment game, you actually have to be out there. Because someone else is going to come and be more vocal and gain people's trust more than you. And people want to sign to them. It's like, so right now, in the music game, they're looking at, why should I sign to Lowkee when I have Universal, Warner Music, all these massive labels hitting me up? Why would I sign to Lowkee? You know? So again, they need to know who I am as a person. Me doing these interviews is me giving them a bit of an insight on how I think and why I do what I do. And this is a family operation. This is a tight knit family.
That's what you should say, yeah.
Yeah.
When did it become a label?
Say again?
When did it become a label?
Building Music became I think it officially became a label in 2019, end of 2019, when we released Youngn Lipz' first single, Misunderstood. Like, it wasn't until I came across him is when I knew that, you know what, this is something special. And I knew we could take it to a whole nother level because his talent, look, he's got the looks, he's got the talent, is undeniable, and his work rate is great too, man. Like, when he's in his zone, no one can touch him, you know. So that's what made me, like, I kind of work to what I have, you know. If I have an artist that's kind of like fucking around a lot, how am I going to take it serious? If you don't have a winning horse, you're not going to put in that work and train them and take him down to the paddock and make him run and stuff. But when you have a horse that's looking sharp, super strong, super fast, you're going to put in that work. So again, it wasn't until I found Youngn Lipz, that's when I realised that, man, I'm onto something and I want to take this serious.
So you found Lipz and then you made a label?
I had the label already.
Okay.
I had an artist previous to him, but it was purely passion. It wasn't nothing serious. It was purely passion, man. I wanted to really help him out.
Yeah.
But again, once I found Lipz, it was still passion. Even to now, it's a lot of passion, you know, like that's a big part of it. But at the same time, it's got to be worth my time as well, you know. I don't want to be pushing something that's not really going to go anywhere. Like, I've got some amazing talent in the label right now and we're pushing it.
How did you cope with building something, because this was your first label you've made, right?
Yeah.
And your first time in the music scene?
First time, yeah.
So how was that? Like, was that some, like, stepping into unknown waters?
That's what I love, bro. It's exciting for me, you know. I love a challenge. I love it when people doubt my capabilities. You know, at the end of the day, I know my ability. I know what I'm capable of doing. So for me, it's like, man, it's exciting. I look at the positives and the negatives, but there's more positives out of it. So that's what drives me.
What was the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge in the music game for me was probably just managing these artists, because they're all different, you know. Understanding their personalities, keeping them motivated and in line is what's tricky, because at the end of the day, they're their own human beings, you know. They look at things differently to how I look at things, you know. I'm more wiser, I'm older, I have more years on them, so I've lived life a bit more to be able to see things on another level. It's part of growing up, so that's my biggest challenge, just explaining things to them and, you know, keeping them motivated.
So with that being said, now that you're stepping into the movie, this movie specifically, what's the most exciting aspect?
Just knowing that, a couple of things, knowing that we're going to be the first to do this is very exciting, and two, seeing all these artists and these Polynesians being a part of something that's going to help the next generation and the generation now. That's probably the most exciting things for me.
Is that the main motive?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love that. And so I can assume that's what inspired you to do it in the first place as well?
100%, without a doubt. Like when you get into business, first thing you think about is the idea. Then usually you think about, okay, is this idea going to make money? Like, how's it going to work? Then you put together a plan. Where with this was, I know it's kind of like the music game for me, where I looked at it purely out of passion. I just want to do it. I didn't even think about the money. I just got straight into it, and I thought about the money later, because it's got to be successful. It's got to make sense, and that's the exact same thing for this movie. I have not thought about how I'm going to make money. I've just thought about, I want to make a movie. I want to put this message out, and what happens, and I'll figure the rest out later, because I know once I have the product, that's where the value is, and I know that's gonna be a lot of value to the world. So to me, that's when I'll make it happen.
Right. Well, you think about it, like there's so many also like influential people in the one movie, and you put it all together with their following combined, it's like it's huge for the label and everything else. Yeah,
100%.
That's exciting. So moving forward, can you even picture where you would be, being that you love to step into unknown territory?
Yeah, that's the beauty, bro.
Yeah,
I don't really plan that far ahead, because I'm someone that I go with how I feel. If I want to get into something and it makes sense to me, I'll just do it. Like right now, I believe music and movies is now a lifetime thing. I'm definitely gonna keep working on movies and music for the rest of my life. In terms of other projects, it's whatever gets my attention, whatever I feel, man. So
yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
that's so exciting. How was it like? I just found it interesting growing up in the whole business thing. Like,
Sure.
What were you selling?
What was I selling?
Yeah, like what were you business, and what were you getting into?
Well, it's probably starting in school, where I was selling phones, DVD players, whatever I could get my hands on.
Me too.
Really, that's like whatever I could get my hands on, whatever I could sell, I'd sell it. Because when you're young, you don't really think about the consequences. You just think about the goal, which was to make money. So again, whatever would come across the table, if I felt like I could turn it into a profit, I'd work on it.
What was it like growing up with, you had other siblings?
Yeah, got 2 little sisters.
Yeah, so was it always competitive like that in the household, and how were you with all that in business?
Yeah, look, me, I feel like there's no one really like me in the family. I've got a pretty big family on the Tongan side of my Tongan family. I would say I'm the most competitive one. My sisters aren't really too competitive, especially the younger one. The older one's a little bit, but she knows the limits. With me, there's no limits.
Yeah.
Like, I'll play basketball with Michael Jordan, I'll think I could beat him,
Yeah.
Like, that's just how I am, man. Like, I just feel like I can win. And I want people to also know that, like, you can win. There's a way to win if you put your brain and your mind to it.
Is that another big reason why you're doing this interview?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's part of the process. I want people to know how I think and why I do what I do, because they got to trust me as well. Why is someone going to watch my movie or listen to my artist or want to sign to me if they don't know me, Like, yeah, the streets talk, people know who's who, and you get a lot of people vouching for others, but I also want people to see what I'm about, and hopefully I can influence the younger generation to go down another path.
I love that. What inspired the mindset? Was it being in the streets and seeing?
Just wanting a better life, bro. Just wanting a better life and an unrestricted life as much as possible. The last thing I want to be is in jail. That's the last place I want to end up, So I can't imagine being, locked up and not being able to eat what I want, see who I want. So for me, that's like, okay, if I don't want that life, this is the life I want. This is what I got to do.
Yeah.
So for me to pursue my goals and dreams, these are the things I need to do.
And even, being that your main goal is to get kids out of the streets, and the kids that are watching this now, what would be the biggest thing that you would say to them?
My biggest thing I'd say to these kids would probably be, just make sure you know who you guys look up to. Like, really, don't let your mind play tricks on you. You can tell when someone's talking shit or when something is not right. Like, really look at, if you aspire to be something, look at someone that's doing that and follow their footsteps, or try to understand how they think and do things. Don't get caught up in bullshit. Don't get caught up in trouble. Really think long term. It's easy to get caught up in shit now where it could affect the rest of your life, man. Like I've done things where it could have affected my life for the rest of my life, you know, if I didn't make a change. So probably those words.
Yeah.
Stick to those words and understand what I just said, because that could change your life.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Sydney. I grew up between Eastwood and Strathfield.
Okay.
My parents went together, so I grew up between two areas in terms of where I was living. And in terms of areas where I was hanging out a lot was, you know, Parramatta, Ryde, Guildford, growing up, yeah.
Just getting involved in the wrong shit.
Yeah, so I happened to grow up in the, you know, in Sydney. It's easy to get caught up in anything, especially when your parents are working or they're hardly around, you know. That's what you tend to look for support or distractions or friends.
That's true. It's a shame, but it's like, it's the way it is now. I guess with the internet, it makes it a bit different, being that you can, you know, look at different people.
True.
But definitely, yeah. So what's within the movie specifically? What's been the biggest challenge or thing that you know you're trying to change?
Right now, the biggest challenge in this movie is probably trying to figure out how I'm actually going to distribute it. Like, do I want it to be in the cinemas? Do I want it to be on Netflix, on TV? Like, understanding how I want to push this message, because my goal is for it to be watched by as many people as possible. So even if I lose money, if I got to sell the rights to Netflix just to really get that reach, I'll do it, because my goal is to see these faces. I want to see Islander faces on billboards, on commercials, on buses. Like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
love that.
Because growing up, I never saw that. I never even saw that opportunity even come up anywhere. So, me being in a position where I can make those calls and make it happen, it's priceless for me.
Being that that's the origin, having it evolved to now so many people, how did that come into play? Like having assigned a whole team together.
It just came from just keeping my ears to the streets, my ears and eyes to the streets. If I see talent, if I see value, if I feel like, you know, there's an opportunity where, you know, I can help build the infrastructure, I'll just bring them on board straight away. It's funny, my assistant producer, her name's Georgia. The way I actually met her was at a music video. And she got my attention because we needed to order some pizzas, and the way she just put it all together, like, I didn't have to think about it. She's like, okay, I'm gonna get down the road, I've got my car parked here, I'm gonna order the pizzas, I'll go get it for you, and I'll come back. And I'm like, fuck, this girl's pretty switched on, you know. She was young, 18 at the time. And when I started working on this movie, I needed an assistant producer. She was the first person I thought of. I called her up, and she was like, I'm down straight away. So that also made me realize that, again, don't let your mind play tricks on you. If you feel like there's someone or an artist that you want to work with, let them know and make it happen, you know. Definitely.
And so you signed Lipz, and then what was it, Hef's after that? Like, what was the process? Hef's was first.
No, Hef's never signed to me.
Right. Oh, true.
We're in talks. No, that's all good, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Hef's is one of the most talented artists popping off right now. Shout out to Hef's doing his thing. With Hef's, like, we're talking, you know, like, Hef's is someone that I always want to help. If there's a way I can help him, guide him the right way, or whatever it is, like, I'm there like a bigger brother, you know. Lipz was, I signed Lipz, and then I moved on from there.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And Safar Bros, were they? Yeah.
So
they're signed.
Yeah. So I manage the Safar Bros. Right now I'm co-managing them because they're kind of doing their own thing, but I'm still like co-managing them, helping them out. I'm always there to help if anyone needs help.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's just interesting. So many people watching it would, like, you know, look up to them, but they don't know the behind the scenes of it and the management and everything else. So
there's a lot of strategy, a lot of, like, man, there's a lot of ups and downs, man, for sure, for all artists, you know.
Yeah. Everyone
in business, there's a lot of ups and downs.
For sure. Were you always able to express yourself so well and so calmly and collected? Like,
nah, man, I used to be very hot-headed. It wasn't until probably, I'd say maybe 3-4 years ago, I calmed down a lot. I was a very hot-headed kid growing up, man. So I wasn't always this calm. Nah.
What changed it?
Probably just maturity, bro. Like, bigger goals. I think it all comes from your goals. when I had smaller goals, I really didn't feel like I had anything to lose, so I would always lose my shit over the smallest things. But now I have goals that are so big, things don't really faze me anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Talk doesn't bother me. Yeah, I just got big goals now, man, so I need to, if I want to reach those goals, I got to stay calm.
I love that.
You know? So,
Yeah. So yeah, even on that note, having worked with, you know, Dennis and Skylake and all those kind of guys, was that always a goal, or did you watch them for a while?
Man, I've seen Dennis's work, maxed
Yeah.
out films. Like, man, when I first saw his clips, I was like, bro, this guy's pretty dope. You know, the lighting looked crazy, the angles, just the way he edited his music videos, I really enjoyed. Same as Skylake. So when this movie idea came about, they were the first person I called. I sat him down on the table, guys, I want to shoot a movie. You guys is in or out? They're all in straight away, and then from there we just started like reaching out to other people that could come in. You know, I said to him, Dennis, he he brought forward Herbert Leota, who's the director of the movie. Super talented, man. He's super talented. And what he has that I wish I had is laser focus. He's the most focused person I've ever worked with. Like, he just focuses on his job. Like, you can tell he's just mastering his role. You know, with me, like, I like to do a million things and like coordinate and manage. With him, he's just focusing on his job. Same as Dennis with the lighting. So yeah, got a solid team, man.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's good when you have that, because I know for me as well, it's like you try to, your vision is so big, but you try to chew more than you can swallow.
That's the hardest part of the business, bro. Especially when you're so ambitious, man. Like, you take on a lot more than you can chew. See, look at me, bro. Like, I just started this label. I've signed all these artists. We're executing all their plans. Now I've taken on this producing my first movie. Like, bro, I'm not sleeping, man. Like, but I know we're all worth it at the end, you know.
Well, that's why it's so dope to have people like you mentioned, because it's like they're the ones that can focus on what you like. So
yeah, man, and they're the ones that, like, man, like they don't get the recognition they deserve. Like, the whole team, man. Even Project Peters, they're doing the sound for this movie. Super talented, these brothers. Like, they're also artists. So they're looking after the sound. Again, with the cast, I've got like the three main actors. I've got Keanu Whangaloka, I've got Bally Boy, and Hooligan Skinny. So even with them, man, like, they're putting in a lot of work, bro. Like, trying to learn your lines and trying to remember it, and then perform on the day with cameras and lighting all over. It's a lot of work, bro. No one's acted before.
Wow.
You know, so.
And they're still musicians as well.
Exactly.
They're even making music.
They're still doing music. They're still working, and they're acting on the side. Like, we have to push the boundaries. You know, they're all on the same page. They don't understand what we're trying to do. So that's the biggest thing. They all understand the vision.
Yeah, I love that. And I guess within the plot itself, can we talk on that? Is that okay? It's not
that's
confidential.
Cool.
It'd be something that they relate to so much.
Exactly right, man. This is based on real events that do happen, in especially in Sydney. You know, it's not based on true events. Like, we're not saying this is what we've been involved with, but we know this does happen, and we want to show that, you know what, there's a few options in life you can choose. You can live this sort of life, or you can live that sort of life, and in this movie we show that. Because, you know, it's the sort of movie I'd want my son to watch and learn from it. You know, there's a lot of lessons to be learned. There's a lot of lessons to be learned, man. That's the main thing.
It's dope because it reminds me of me almost, because I want to go from documenting the culture to shifting it to making things like drugs not cool. So to see the movie like this,
we definitely show that in this movie, bro. Yeah,
man,
that's good. You doing this, man, is shifting the culture, bro. You know, like, we need this. We need to keep pushing a positive message. You know, like, the negative shit happens. You know, fair enough. We can, if it's from a reliable source, if fucked up shit happens and we want to talk about it, we should talk about it, but it should always be a positive twist, because unless people like us are active on it, no one is, man. So it's good. Keep it up, bro.
I love that. Alright, well, we might wrap it up like that then.
No, bro.
I'm excited. This movie's going to be so dope.
Yeah, man. Can't wait.